In this video, we're going to show you how to fit wall panelling. We're going to be fitting our Novu dado rail with two different size rectangle panels above and below with our Promenade wall panel mould. Firstly, you're going to need to measure the height and width of the wall that you'll be working on. These measurements will then need to be transferred to paper so you can draw up your design accurately. We're using a 1:10 scale ratio, so our 2.19 metre wall height will be 21.9 centimetres on paper, and our 3 metre wall width will be 30 centimetres. We're going to be fitting our dado rail at 750mm high. We've chosen this height as traditionally dado rails were at a height that would protect the wall from furniture, but it's entirely down to personal preference. Now that we've drawn our dado rail, we can start to draw our panels. We want the areas around our panels to be completely equal and parallel. We've decided to have this at 120mm because we think it will look good aesthetically, but there's no real method to it. To work out how to make the panels equal size with an equal gap, follow this method. We're using 120mm spacing and we want 5 panels. This means that we have 6 120mm gaps between our panels. Add them all together and we get 720mm. Take that away from our 3 metre wall, leaves us with 2280mm. Divide this by 5 for our panels and that leaves us with 456mm width panels. You can use trial and error to see what measurements will work best for you and your wall design. Now that our drawing on paper is complete, it's time to get our drawing on the wall so we can fit our panels accurately. Firstly, we're going to mark a straight vertical and horizontal line across our wall with a spirit level as a reference point so we know that our panels will be straight and parallel when it comes to fitting them. We're marking our vertical line at 120mm away from the wall, as that's how far our panel is going to be away from the wall, and we're marking our horizontal line at 750mm high, as that is the height that our dado rail will be fitted. Once you've done this, we can fit our dado rail. Apply adhesive to the back of the rail and sit it flush on our horizontal line. When you're happy with its position, fix it to the wall with a nail gun. Depending on the length of your dado rail, you might need 2 people to offer it up and fix it, just to make sure it's sat flush on your marking. There are numerous ways you can draw your panels on the wall, but we're going to use what we believe to be the most cost-effective and simple way for DIYers. We're using a method called staffing. This involves using a piece of material the same size as the parallel gaps so that you know the spacing is consistent and you don't have to keep referring back like you would with a tape measure and pencil. We're using our 120mm staff with some spare MDF, but you can use anything as long as it's the same size as your gaps and is sturdy. We're running the staff along the wall above and below our dado rail while drawing at the same time. Our second staff is going to be the length of our panels and the length of the gap that we're leaving in between each panel. You might have to use this staff at numerous heights just so you have consistent markings throughout your wall. Once your markings are on the wall and you're happy with them, it's time to cut our panels. We're cutting our panels with a mitre saw, but you can use a mitre block too. We're going to mitre one end of our panel and measure the length that we need. We can check this up against our drawing on the wall to make sure our measurements are accurate. Once we're happy, we can mitre to our marking and then fit a block in place so that every panel that is placed here will be cut to the exact same size without needing to measure each piece manually. Use this method for the different size panels until all your panels are complete. Remember to have your profile the right way around throughout cutting so they all line up correctly when fitting your panels. We're going to pre-assemble our panels rather than fit them to the wall piece by piece. To do this, we're going to fit our panels together with glue and activator. Glue one edge of the panel and spray the other with the activator and hold the panels in place to stick them together. Check your glue and activator instructions to see how long you need to hold in place. Make sure you do this over a surface or cover so that you don't damage any surroundings or stick to anything such as your carpet. Now it's time to fit our pre-assembled panels to the wall. Hold your panel flush with your pencil markings and once you're happy, fit them to the wall with a nail gun. You could use adhesive on the backs of your panels for a snugger and sturdier fit. Use the same method for the rest of your panels, making sure you're fitting to your pencil marks. Once your panels are fitted to the wall, you'll need to do some cosmetic work prior to painting. This includes filling any holes and mitres with filler and caulking the edges of the panels and dado rail. We would recommend using your finger or a wet cloth so that it rubs smoothly and sinks into your gaps nicely. And finally, sanding down the filler once it has dried. Check the instructions on the fill out you'll use for the drying time. Once the initial cosmetic work is done, it's time to paint our panels. We're going to paint our panels the same colour as our wall. Apply 2 coats of paint and your wall panelling is complete. We hope that this tutorial has covered everything off and helped you fit your wall panelling. If you do have any questions, leave us a comment and we will get back to you. We would love to see what designs you create, so please do tag us in your journey on Instagram, and you can tag us on @skirting4u. For more home tutorials, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.